with new fencers, that's not an easy job.
Yeah.
You have to keep it interesting for them. You have to engage their imagination,
Yeah.
and as well as their dedication. And once that combination is in there, then you're okay. Then they stay with it. And I remember giving lessons to you guys. You'd come in at somewhere between 8 and 11 o'clock at night. take a fencing lesson with me.
Yeah. You were also developing a lot of assistant coaches, or sort of a
We were.
support
We had John
core.
Sang was helping us, and
Bruce Livingston.
yeah, Bruce Livingston was helping us. Yeah,
And then we had
that was
Gabor
terrific.
Demian
Gabor
would show
Demian
up,
was
and
coming in,
Steve
giving lessons,
Jakob,
yeah.
and
Steve Jakob, right? Yeah.
and you sort of had this sort of support group around you that you knew from the fencing community.
Right.
And now John Chang, who was my coach,
Right.
he sort of developed his own unique coaching style.
Mm-hmm.
He came from Sabre, actually. and
That's
ended up,
correct.
As an epee coach.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I
Really
switched him to a
talked
pay.
about- Yeah.
I switched him to a pay, and he developed. I remember him talking about the Chinese sword dancing,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought to myself, "Gee whiz, the actions that he's describing are more like the actions of somebody working with a point than somebody working with a saber."
Mm-hmm.
And I just sort of thought that he might do well with that, with the epee. He at first he didn't get it, and he didn't see how he could be effective on the retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And then I showed him that if he attacked me, I could score on him with my retreats.
Oh, right. Yes.
And that's what convinced him that he should be able to do the same thing and even better.
Very
Right.
interesting. Yeah. Well, John developed his own. I mean.
And then he developed
John
his
was
own
a-
game beyond. After that, you know, John's a very astute guy, and
Yeah,
he picked it up and took it even further.
Yeah,
He did
yeah.
extremely well with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember really incredible.
I remember you were making surprise moves on me with your epee. Wow, where did Jeff learn this?
I guess we always felt, it's interesting talking to Johan in retrospect for me, because he had a very strong experience in Sweden of a very classical fencing attitude and approach, and the forms are right and everything's perfect, and whereas we were always thinking about that when we were fencing, regarding what we thought was our more dynamic game. And I know your emphasis, not just on lessons, but also on bouting and on analysis and on developing the unique qualities of each fencer and having him figure them out also for himself in terms of his fencing.
Building up his own game.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you wanted to talk about the terms of your own experience of, René Paroy and the experiences you had having lessons, and how what seems to me, especially when you think of the kind of fluidity of Johan's fencing, which I sort of picked up on, and the bouncing and the kind of extended actions and all of that. I remember various discussions we had about
Right.
this. I don't know if you have any other, if you want to elaborate on some of that.
Well, I must say the bouncing technique